We're turning our attention to the Ennis Eccentric Music Society, who host music events celebrating original and alternative music talent from this county and beyond. And joining me to tell us more about the Ennis Eccentric Music Society are three of its members in studio. I'm joined by Saoirse Walsh and Nick Bromfield, and on the line by Laetitia Andre. Good morning, folks. Thanks very much for coming in.
Good morning. How are you, Ellen?
Hi, how are you doing?
Very well, very well. And keen to find out more about, can I just say the EEMS? It's a lot quicker. Who would like to tell me about how it all started and how long ago?
Well, about 2 years ago in November, after the pandemic and everything, we just noticed we were just really missing live original music. And so, we're trying to find a venue for it, and everything was the hardest part. So we just luckily crossed paths with Dylan Hayes from Lucas's Bar, and he luckily took us in, and we had a couple of jams, and it all just grew legs from there. It was amazing.
Very good. I suppose there was a keenness. Maybe, I don't know, did Lucas has put on gigs before, but maybe venues and pubs that mightn't have had such a history of putting on gigs before were maybe keen to do so, Nick, because coming out of the pandemic, they just do anything to try and get people coming back into their establishments.
Yeah. Now, Lucas's and other pubs, they do have a history, but as Saoirse said, during that pandemic phase, everything seemed to just die off, and we were amazed then at the results. We just thought we'd start a little gig, kind of our own friend group, because we knew a lot of musicians, being musicians ourselves, and then people kept coming out of the woodwork month after month. The crowd just kept growing, to the point where I think we were 4 or 5 gigs in, and there was 200 people showing up.
200 people, and it's pleasing, I guess, to get those kind of numbers, but also that it happened organically.
Yes. That was the great beauty about it. We've made so many new contacts, new friends. There's new musicians arriving week on, week out. Loads of youth that were in the youth centre looking for spaces to play once they've evolved past that. So we just kept doing that, kept meeting new people and inviting them and giving them a platform to play.
Brilliant. And Laetitia, how did you get involved with the Ennis Eccentric Music Society? Can you hear us, Laetitia?
I can, yeah.
Yeah, can you tell us how you got involved with the guys?
Yes, indeed. I was part of a band myself, and we're old friends. So when we started that, it was great for my band and other bands that we know locally to have this platform going. And that's how it grew and grew and grew. The most of bands that are playing at our events, they're all local, from Ennis, from County Clare. Some bands and even DJs have come up from, and rappers have come up from Limerick, Waterford, and as far as Dublin then.
Okay, very good. So tell us, Saoirse, about 2025, the year gone by. How was that? How many gigs, events did you put on? Were they kind of wide in variety in terms of bills, and what kind of crowds were you getting?
Yeah, so we have the monthly event. So once a month, we kind of have about 2 bands per event, and maybe 2 or 3 singer-songwriters as well. And we have a huge, community of supporters that come out every time. So we've had 2 summer fests over the last 2 years as well. Halloween festivals. We've had 2 Battle of the Bands. It's just been fantastic to see the young people, debuting on our stage for the first time, and seasoned musicians coming back and playing again and everything. So it really is, we were so used to having Brandon's was a great hub for original music back in the day. And now we have that community back again, so it's fantastic.
And probably nice as well, Nick, that the early events or shows you're looking around to find acts. Where I would imagine the work has been made a little easier because of how it's grown organically. You've got acts, singer-songwriters approaching you, no doubt.
We do indeed. It's sort of gone from strength to strength. We have up until May or June of this year penciled in with dates and booked. We have 2 large events coming up that aside from that we're branching out into doing. So yeah, there's a queue of people coming in, and as Saoirse mentioned, speaking of vintage musicians, we have a bush plant coming up in a couple of weeks. Don't we?
They're a reunion after 36 years. They're back for one night only. If anyone remembers them from back in their heyday, it was really something. So, everyone's really excited from that. I'm sure we'll have people coming from the hills to see the bush plant back again. And then we have Kohima doing support as well. It's their 25-year anniversary. And we have Ronan de Burka doing the DJ after party afterwards as well. So
wow, the power of the Ennis Eccentric Music Society. Your compelling acts from that is some layoff. 36 years.
36 years.
So what kind of did you approach the Bush plans? Had they been talking? I would imagine at various points over the years. Maybe they talked about getting together. Was it you guys are so persuasive, or they'd heard your reputation? Or?
Yeah, well, I'm a child of Bush plants, so I kind of grew up in the middle of them. So I have been heavily
you were nagging them, is what you're saying.
heavily persuading them for a long time. So I'm very excited. I'm going to be front and centre on the night, as well as everyone else, I'm sure.
Very, very good. Laetitia, what else is coming up for 2026 that people should be keeping an eye out for?
Well, our resolution 2026 is to develop to further afield. I suppose we've a couple of new venues coming up. And we've had multiple demands from tribute bands and multiple demands from DJs. So our first DJ event will happen on the 31st of January in Airog. This is called the Third Room. And we're hoping that that night is a success and that we finally have a place to welcome DJs to play on a regular basis. We don't know exactly yet how that will go. And the other event that will kick off will be in another venue. It will be in a hotel. We're not going to announce that yet. But the date will be the 14th of March. And it will begin with Megatrad. They are starting their tour. It's called It Begins With a Tour. And we're delighted to put on the event for them. Because again, rising from the trad scene in Ennis and to be able to put up such a big event with support of Ray Finn and Rain and Sean Neff. So we're looking forward to that. Tribute bands in Ennis, DJs in Ennis. We know there is a lot of people who are travelling to either Galway, Limerick or Dublin for big events like this. So we're hoping to lift off that scene in Ennis too.
Okay, very good. It sounds like you're certainly not short of acts to play your events. What about, Nick, though, venues and people getting involved with the society itself? I mean, some of the venues mentioned, we've heard Lucas's, bars and pubs, hotels, GA clubs. So it was a wide variety, but you're always on the lookout for as many places as possible to host shows.
Oh, absolutely. There's a thirst for live music in the public sphere. As we know, Ennis is a great music town, especially with the trad scene and everything. But behind that and around that, there's other musicians, and they're always looking for spaces as well. So we're open to anyone who would like to put on a gig, put on an event. We enjoy it ourselves. That's why we do it, and we like to promote local independent musicians.
Brilliant stuff. Always great to see people willing to give an opportunity to local independent musicians. If people want to find out more, Saoirse, about you guys and what you do, or even if they want to roll up their sleeves and get involved in some of the hard work, how can they do so?
Well, we have Facebook and Instagram. You can just find us with Ennis Eccentric Music Society, and we have the website as well, enniseames.com, and we have all our upcoming events posted on that. We'll have videos and photos of our past events updated regularly as well. So the website is a great one to get in touch with us by.
Brilliant stuff. I'm sure we'll be talking to you, and indeed some of the acts you're putting on throughout the year. My thanks to Laetitia Andre, Saoirse Walsh and Nick Bromfield from the Ennis Eccentric Music Society for joining me on Morning Focus.